comes a time in everybody's life when you just have to buy a new t-shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the old one, they don't last forever, man.
You know, you pull out your summer clothes and there's like holes in the armpits and then the bottom all frayed.
Try to make them last.
I know here in Portland, the sun just showed its face for the first time in like 27 years. So it's time to get some new clothes. And the best place to do that is to go over to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. They have the coolest Grateful Dead inspired designs on the virtual lot ever. I mean it. I said it and I stand behind it, man.
You should stand behind it.
Check this out. They aren't sending shit to you in Mylar bags anymore. They're going back old school. Ooh. They're giving you a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box with a bunch of extras on the inside. And you might even get a Grateful Dead
bootleg
miracle cassette tape in your order. You never know. You won't know unless you order. And check this out. Put in the promo code NoSimpleRoad when you're checking out. Ooh, my lips stuck together. I'm going to say it again.
And you will get free shipping with the promo code NoSimpleRoad.
Yeah,
all one word.
That. And then it comes to you for free. So do that. Well, the shipping anyway. You get the idea. Go check out shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Don't forget the promo code and hook yourself up with something fresh, man. You deserve it. You've been good. Or if you haven't, just do it anyway. No Simple Road is stoked to have Sunset Lake CBD back with us as our sponsor. Sunset Lake is the real deal. If you've looked around trying to find CBD and it just didn't do what it was supposed to do, this is the place you need to go. They've got every kind of product you can imagine, including CBD tinctures with sleep gummies that are great for getting to bed, CBD gummy bears and reishi-infused chews that can help bring you a little bit of calm in a stressful day. They've got salve. They've got smokable hemp flower that's great for folks like me that don't want to get stoned and paranoid but want to have the benefits of cannabis. Well, now you got it. And they even carry CBD products for your pets, man. I'm saying this is Darwin approved stuff. Go over to sunsetlakecbd.com and check out the full range of what they have. This is Vermont grown, right to your door, and they're giving you 20% off. So put in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out. You're going to get 20% off your whole order. And I know you're going to love it. They even have subscription options open for you, so you don't forget to get your medicine. Go check out Sunset Lake CBD, everybody.
No Simple Road. Yeah, here we go.
Everybody said yes, so I'm doing it.
What?
Can't stop me now. Here I go.
Here we are.
What's up, everybody?
We are back.
No Simple Road family. What's going on? This is Aaron.
This is Apple.
And it's Mel.
And we're back for another.
Oh, and it's Darwin.
Oh, yeah.
Darwin.
He just gave us a dirty look.
He gave us a look back.
Well, fuck, man. I'm here too.
And Darwin.
Everybody, I have to say that in recent years, this was the one guest on No Simple Road that I was the most excited to have on the show. This week, we have none other than Professor Reggie Watts.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like, Reggie motherfucking Watts.
Okay,
Woo!
you're like that. Do it.
I just did it.
Do it
She
again.
did it.
One more time.
Reggie motherfucking Watts.
Yeah. Let's hear it for him, everybody.
See, Darwin's all excited. Yeah.
This was
we were all excited.
Yeah.
Darwin's excited. I was excited. Aaron's excited. You were excited.
I'm still excited.
I'm still excited too because we've been sitting on this episode for a couple
for a hot
months.
minute.
Yeah. It's exciting to be putting this out into your ears.
This is this episode coming together is a testimony to pestering.
Well, you know, he
Sort of.
clears it up. He was like, I wanted to do it.
No, I know.
But it would not have been done without persistence.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
We did not know Reggie. We didn't have any way to get to him. The way that this came about was me posting pictures of him in our story and saying, hey, Reggie Watts, come on No Simple Road a bunch of times. And then finally he was like, yeah, man, let's do it. So Reggie, thanks for coming on the show, man. We will be in the future and retroactively so stoked to have you on the show. And this just listening back, like the few minutes that we listened back, this is a blast. We did this like in January, at the end of January, right? Right after the
right after
storm,
the ice
and all that stuff that happened to us. Yeah. So just buckle up. Reggie is
Reggie is Reggie. That's all you got to say. One thing that I will say is in like preparing for the interview, I know, how do you prepare for that? But we all listened to his audiobook and it's so good. It is such a good audiobook. So for all y'all out there, if you have not read the book or listened to the book, I highly recommend you listening to it because he does it and brings it to life. Like, of course it's supposed to bring it to life.
The audiobook is amazing.
Fast Times, Post-Punk Weirdos, and A Tale of Coming Home Again.
It's called Great Falls, and that's the tagline, what you just read.
Yeah.
The audiobook is just as odd as Reggie and feels right at home in my head. And
it's perfect because he reads it.
Yeah,
couldn't have been any other. Well, yeah, he said he would have tapped somebody else.
Yeah,
but we'll hear that in the
really
interview. But
if you get the opportunity, also, if Reggie's coming through your town and doing a live performance, I won't even. It's not stand up. No,
it's a lot of things.
This is a live performance of a human being that has completely embraced who he is and is unafraid and unapologetic to be completely 100% who he is.
So I have some dates here and some locations. I mean, it's coming out
Friday.
I'll start with the 16th. He's going to be in Munich, Germany. Then he's going to be in Berlin on the 17th. Norway on the 19th.
All of our Norwegian listeners.
That's right. Denmark on the 21st. Amsterdam on the 22nd. And he's got a bunch he's got a couple in April, but I'm trying to get back to
the United States.
United. Well,
I didn't find any at the moment.
Yeah, it's nothing right now.
Okay, well, keep an eye out because if he does, it's definitely worth it. You're gonna get comedy and soliloquy and some beatboxing.
Well, pretty sure most people are aware of who Reggie Watts is, but if you want to catch up on all things Reggie Watts, you can go YouTube. He has his own YouTube channel, and there is so much stuff on YouTube of years and years of performances. He's done so many things. I mean, I was watching stuff for weeks leading up to it and barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, and I think that arguably this is the biggest star we've had on the show.
Reggie, you hear
arguably.
If you listen back.
So don't argue with me because it's arguable.
All of us, we should all wish him a happy early birthday. His birthday's coming up on March 23rd.
Oh, happy birthday, Reggie.
Did you know that No Simple Road is in the top 10 music interview podcasts in Poland?
What?
Did you know that?
Right on, Poland.
Thank you to our Polish brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for making that happen.
Who'd have thunk? So, Reggie, you should tell everybody in Europe that you were on No Simple Road so that, we can continue going.
Get higher than 10.
All right. Well, is everybody ready? Are you excited?
I'm so excited.
You know what? One more time. Just once more. I'm really excited to have Reggie on the show. All right, that's enough of this.
So what if we're fangirling and boing over here?
No, this was one I had to remind myself when we were walking down here to come do the
trying to be all conversation.
I was like,
professional. What does that mean?
Be a little fanboy with Reggie Watts, Aaron. Do not.
You be a little fanboy.
Yeah. Well,
hey Reggie, how you doing, man? And I'm really proud of my picture of Reggie that I drew. I love it. This was one of my favorites.
That is great. You captured the sweater, like everything.
I think that's one we need to post. I think Reggie would appreciate the artistry.
Sometimes I got to make sure that there's nothing in there that's
naughty.
Yeah.
That looks good.
It's great.
That could be the cover of his next book.
For sure. All right, everybody. Go check out the book, Great Falls, Montana. What's the tagline?
Fast Times, Post-Punk Weirdos, and A Tale of Coming Home Again.
Grab the hardcover or go listen to the audiobook and take a trip through the brain of a genius, because that is what this gentleman is. And
plus what the special that we saw that was amazing that made us reach out to Reggie.
Spatial.
check out
If you haven't
Spatial.
seen that, go check that out. All right, everybody, we're going to do the business super fast, and then we're going to get you to
Super
this
fast
conversation.
business.
All right.
Do it
everybody
now.
ready? Okay, no. Follow No Simple Road at No Simple Road on the social media things. Go to our website, do website stuff there. Get some merch. You can sign up for a tarot reading with Mel and I, a mystical journey through the tarot using the Grateful Dead tarot deck. Yeah, go to the website. You can do that stuff.
That's where you can do it.
Go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Become a patron of the arts of No Simple Road. The art that we call No Simple Road, you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. Get extra content.
Or as much as $108 a year.
That's right. Thanks, man. Thanks, Jody.
Yeah.
You can, Mel, you derailed my mind.
Well, because that was cute and I wanted to throw it in.
Oh, I remember. You can get the episodes ad-free and early when I put them out. You can get Apple's Cinematic Adventures. You can get all kinds of other stuff over there. So go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. Leave us those reviews on Apple Podcasts.
And we got a new one
What?
on Apple
We're not gonna do the
Podcasts,
clapping
and
again.
I'm gonna read this one because this cracks me up. This came to us on Saturday from Be Happy Here Now. Like hanging out with old friends. 5 stars. This podcast is like spending an hour or so kicking it with friends you haven't gotten the chance to know in person yet. A welcoming vibe from 2 beautiful people. Plus Apple. LOL. I look forward to many more. Okay,
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
Nice.
Well done, whoever you are. That is how you do a review. Please, if you haven't done that, go do that for us. It helps the show, man. And last but not least, tell somebody you love about No Simple
What about
Road.
971-808-1524?
Oh, yeah. We also have a tepid line, 971-808-1524, that you can call in. You got 3 minutes to say stuff. I'm not going to play any tepid line stuff this week. We'll play some next week. But so you should call in this week, 971-808-1524. All right. You ready, everybody?
We're
I'm
ready.
ready.
All right. I'm really excited. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Reggie Watts.
Recording in progress.
Recording in progress.
The computer says
We want to
recording.
record what we're going to say and ask you.
Dude.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, guys. It took so long. My computer decided to restart.
It's all good, man.
That's okay.
You're here now.
Here.
Yeah.
We're
It's
here.
like, it's like
together.
we're here. We're here finally. Jesus. How long did it take? Wow,
Reggie, thank you so much for
Wow.
fucking doing this with us.
No problem. I'm glad to be here finally.
Really?
I'm Aaron, Reggie.
Hey, Aaron.
What's going on?
Hey,
man?
nice
Nice to meet
to see
you.
you.
My name is
Hey.
Mel. Reggie, thanks for being with us. And then we have Apple.
Then I'm the third member here. I'm Apple.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Fucking Apple over there, man.
That's like an epic apple.
Yes.
Hold on one second. I'm grabbing something, but I can still hear you as I'm moving. So
Okay.
go do it.
Yes. Well, we stopped talking.
We've
whether-
seen Reggie Watts walk now.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what it's like.
Yeah. We've
Don't-
experienced it.
The Reggie strut.
Dang.
Yeah, don't tell everybody.
I won't.
We won't let those secrets
This is just
out.
between us for right now.
I put on
yeah,
my
thank you.
sweater expecting a fun sweater, but I guess.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Well, I'll go grab one real
No,
quick for you.
it's all good, dude. I'll rep for both of us, man.
Okay. All right. Well, if you
Reggie's
need
in
it,
LA. They
I've
don't
got
wear
it.
sweaters down
Yeah,
there.
they do. It gets cold
Oh.
a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? It's raining today.
Oh,
Dang.
we brought we brought the Pacific Northwest to you. If you like Reggie Watts, you most likely like coffee.
I like both of them.
These are conjecture, totally on my part. But if you like Reggie Watts and you like coffee, most likely you're gonna love the coffee from
Northbound.
Coffee Roasters.
Wow.
They are a family-owned and operated coffee roastery out of Mount Shasta, California, with a combined 22 years of coffee experience. And owners Keith and Jen have a total of over 600 Grateful Dead and Phish shows between the two of them. That's a lot of heady music.
That is a lot of
poured
good
into some ears.
shows.
Northbound Coffee Roasters specializes in specialty organic coffees with a wide variety of roast profiles, blends, and single origin offerings to match the taste of anybody who enjoys a quality cup of coffee.
But is there roasts fresh?
They roast every week.
What?
Yeah. The orders that come in during the week, they will roast, I think, on Monday and then ship the orders out. So you know that the coffee you're getting is the freshest cup of coffee. Head on over to northboundcoffee.com to learn more and place your order today. They ship anywhere in the U.S. and their coffees, like Mel said, are always roasted to order to guarantee the freshest cup. Use the code NOSimpleRoad at checkout for free shipping on your first order, any size, anywhere in the U.S., and make sure to sign up for their newsletter for other additional discounts and cool stuff that they have going on over at Northbound. Be a headlight on a northbound train. Get the best coffee in the world.
Yeah, the Pack NW is back. Yeah, it's really nice too. I love it because it's, we have been getting a lot of rain lately, thanks to climate change. So dope. So
see, and everybody's saying how bad it is, but LA's getting rain, dude.
yeah, we're getting. It's like, it's fine. It's like it's more water's good. We're not in a drought anymore.
Yeah, well, and the three of us almost died in an ice storm
Reggie,
this week.
you fucking grabbed a sweater.
Did grab a sweater. Fucking.
Hell man.
I had to, because like you never know, right? I forgot one other thing that's really important that you guys might like. Well, you probably don't know about it, but I'll see if you guys do.
Right.
Okay.
I like to know about fun stuff.
This is fun already.
Okay, let's see. Oops. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I keep forgetting things. Okay, and now I've got it.
We did a podcast with Reggie, but we never saw him, and he never sat down.
No, I'm never just constantly doing things. Like, guys, let me check. Sorry, I got to check my heater. Okay, no, I'll be right back. Hey, what's going on?
The alarm's going off.
Oh, you got that Porsche fucking test drive again? You got something else?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you guys ever done this before, like where you like what do you call it? Like you find like a plant matter, like incense, but like you can inhale it like this.
Oh, like pot.
No,
like,
dude.
is that a doobie?
It's a jazz cigarette.
A jazz cigarette. I like that.
Do you do jazz hands while you smoke that? No.
No, I don't. I don't. I know other people that do.
But Reggie, I heard that if you smoke that, it makes you think you can fly and shit, man. Are you gonna be all right to do this?
Well, I hope so. This was an experiment. I got dared, to do it. I was like, and you guys are like not. You guys are against it, and I was like, well, let me do it.
Let's see what happens.
Let's just see what happens.
I'm feeling a little weird on my side now.
I'm worried it's a gateway to other things. Like that's a gateway, definitely to other things.
PCP all the way.
Yeah, straight to PCP.
PCP, yeah.
Then I was doing PCP.
Man. Well,
you've heard of direct to DVD. This is
direct to PCP.
Yeah.
So Reggie, I have to ask you a question, man.
That's it. That's all we wanted. One question.
Just one, and then we're done for the day.
Okay, that's great. Appreciate it.
Was it my pestering that finally got you to do this with us?
The pestering? No, I don't think so. No, there's never any pestering around here. I always like to do stuff, so it just depends on getting the time for it. That's all.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I have the time.
Congratulations on that dope book. Like,
yes.
Oh, thank you.
I didn't literally read it. I heard it, and I'm so glad I heard it instead because it's like one of your like performances. And it's a long ass performance.
Yeah.
It's so fun, and it really gets into the everything of the meat of what you've done, who you created,
Who
and
is Reggie?
yeah,
Watts?
man, it's really well done. I just wanted to say that off the bat.
So happy that you are the one that read it and didn't have somebody else read it because it just wouldn't have been the same, obviously.
Well, thanks for that. Yeah, I did consider it, but yeah,
really?
I'm glad I did it.
Who would you have had do it if you didn't do it?
I probably would have had Fred Armisen do it.
Okay.
Oh, that would have been decent.
You could have hit me up. I would have done it too, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You could add me to the list now.
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't know. So I apologize.
But there's one thing about it too that I loved was like you clearly read it and wrote it a while back, but it felt very current in the moment as like the way that you did it, like with your kind of interruptions and this and that. It felt like we were in the room together, kind of. I don't know if you planned on doing that like that, but it just felt very, it felt organic, but more than organic, it felt participatory.
There's things you can do now that you couldn't do before when you couldn't do them, but you can do them now.
Like what?
Like, go and follow at Melt Mushrooms on Instagram, MELTMUSHROOMS, because they have the best mushroom chocolates around, and they're shipping all over the United States, right to your door. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just shoot them a DM, tell them No Simple Road sent you, and they are going to send you their menu. And for this month, you are getting 30% off a bar. It's pretty amazing stuff.
That's a great deal.
Yeah.
And it's not just chocolates now. They have the capsules, as we've said, but the launch of the gummies with tangerine, pineapple, and elderberry.
And the minis. They have the mini chocolates too. If you just want one perfect little microdose, they've got you on
lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. And 9 different flavors of their chocolate bars, including mint, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, quinoa crunch, coffee crunch, a bunch of them. I can't name all 9, but hey, and 4 grams of their sacred mushroom blend, a bunch of adaptogens and other stuff to help the mushrooms do what they're supposed to do. So go follow at Melt Mushrooms, shoot them a DM, tell them No Simple Road sent you. You'll get the menu, you place your order, they come to your house, and off you go into the wild blue yonder. Melt premium mushroom chocolates.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I wanted it to kind of feel that way, like where it felt a little bit more personal, like it was a real-time conversation.
Well,
So,
it's just a trip too, because Aaron started listening to it first and then got me on. He was like, dude, the similarity, I'm 54, Aaron's 52. So like the similarities of no matter where you grew up, we grew up in Las Vegas, that so many similarities and so many things that just like brought up so many memories, and now has me thinking about like the past and connections, and it helped me want to like reconnect with a few things and kind of explore that childhood again, because that had to be fun going through that and piecing it together.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was fun to just have the memories and go through the memories, and also talk to friends that were around then, and get their opinion about what actually happened, and kind of triangulate all of that, and like get the stories a little bit more accurate, all that stuff. It's awesome.
I can't even imagine trying to go back and put back together
our childhood.
It's the, like, I mean, when we grew up in the 80s, we were basically feral cats, man. We just all did whatever the hell. And I kind of forgot about a lot of that after hearing the book. Like, one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, man, is, music is such a huge part of your growing up and who you are and what you do and everything. And especially when we were growing up, there's no mention of the Grateful Dead and no mention of Phish in the book. And I'm curious why, because you had to have come up against heads growing up.
I think so. I mean, I didn't really learn about the Grateful Dead. I don't know, like more about them aside from Touch of Grey, which was obviously their biggest hit.
Right.
I heard that and I was like, who are these guys? Like, that's crazy, but it was a great song and I liked it. And then really it was the early 90s where I started hearing about it. It wasn't really part of the Great Falls vibe. Like that, there was no one I knew in Great Falls that was a Grateful Dead person. And if they were, I mean, I also didn't hang out with, all my friends were all like post-punk, punk guys. Right. So like I didn't, and then like kind of top 40 stuff. And again, like aside from Touch of Grey, that's the only way I would have known about it. So I didn't really know like the intricacies of like, people going on tour and, and like holding out their finger and hoping for a miracle and all that stuff, like all those things I learned from some of my hippier friends in Seattle when I was growing up. But I was not really listening to that kind of music, even though I did get involved in the jam band scene, in the mid 90s. I came in at it from a different angle. So I didn't get like a shit ton of exposure to it. It's kind of crazy. It was around, but I didn't.
What angle did you come into it through?
Well, I mean, I came from more of like a jazz, like a soul jazz angle, whereas the jam band scene, like, I don't know, my band, I wouldn't have necessarily thought would have fit in with the jam band scene, but it just kind of happened because like more soul based music started kind of creeping in to all the festivals like High Sierra and stuff like that. So we started seeing like Soul Live playing there, which was like pretty much like jazz, soul, funk, which does make sense now, but at the time, like I wasn't expecting to see stuff like that. It's because mostly it was like Tea Leaf Green and Disco Biscuits and the Slip and bands like that.
So did you ever end up like going to a concert or like diving into that world a little bit?
Which world?
Like the Grateful Dead world or the Phish world, and maybe like that touring kind of on tour world.
Yeah, I mean, I think I may have seen Phish. I think I saw Phish at the Gorge, maybe.
Oh my God.
I had some friends that were like really big fans of theirs, and I'm just remembering now, but I think maybe I saw them there because they were like, known for their crazy shows, like the staging and lighting and all that stuff. Right. So yeah, I think I did see Phish there, but again, like my friends were the fans, so I didn't know anything. I was just like, oh, this is a cool show, but that was it.
Okay, you have an open invitation anytime you want when they come around LA. We will go with you, man.
They're gonna be at the Sphere, Reggie. I'm sure you can get a ticket to the Sphere.
They're gonna be at the Sphere. That's awesome.
In April.
You're gonna see fish heads falling from the sky inside the Sphere. It's gonna be amazing. Christ.
It could be dangerous. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll wear armor.
Yeah.
You'll be fine, dude.
Coming
crazy.
I came into that whole world from kind of the same way you grew up. I was a punk rock kid and loved psychedelics and met some cats in LA actually that were deadheads, and they were like, out of everybody we know, man, you have to come to a Dead show with us. And I was like, I'm not fucking going to see the Grateful Dead. I don't want to see Truckin' for 45 minutes. It's not happening. They're like, we'll buy your ticket. And I'm like, okay, if you'll buy my ticket, I'll go see the show. And
then we'll puddle you.
And then, and ditch your ass. It was the most amazing, psychedelic, transformative, life-altering experience I had in my short 19 years of life to that point. And I wonder, like, with music being such a big deal for you, have you ever had like one of those earth-shattering moments with music as a kid? Because you didn't really talk about it in the book too much.
Mm-hmm. I think I think when I saw, probably like when I was a little kid and I saw Ray Charles, that was definitely a moment, I mean, Michael Jackson, obviously, that was insane when he came on the scene. It was just like, holy shit, like that just blew my mind. Or Prince, I saw Little Red Corvette, which was kind of like a live him on stage video.
Okay.
And that just, I was like, what is happening right now? Like this guy is dancing. I mean, he's in high heels and he's doing all these crazy moves. He's playing the most filthy guitar solos. He's got an incredible voice. Like the staging looks cool. He's dressed cool. Like that was like mind blowing, mind shattering. But I don't know. I'd say probably the Smithereens also I talked a little bit about them in the book, but they had like a big influence on me. Like when I heard them for the first time, I was like, whoa, I didn't know I could like music like this, but I hadn't really even heard music like that. Even though you could say that it was kind of like beatnik inspired kind of post-punk, I guess, vibes or whatever that they were running. But the storytelling and the lyrics, were really, really got me. And, and same thing with Depeche Mode, hearing Depeche Mode for the first time. And like hearing their lyric content and, so I don't know, I had like a lot of those. I mean, seeing The Cure, Just Like Heaven, the first time I saw The Cure was on 120 minutes. And they played Just Like Heaven, that video. And I was like, immediately like, oh my God. Like, I was like, that's my world. That's whoever those guys are. That's what I want. That was, yeah. That was like, that definitely got me on a train where I was very much interested in figuring out what more lied in that world.
And I feel like, and I guess everybody probably feels like this, but especially after hearing your memories of growing up in the 80s, I feel like we grew up in like the last generation that could kind of be free in everything. We weren't like tethered with this thing yet, you know. We weren't like
our parents didn't even want us to tell them when they were coming home. Like they didn't.
We didn't want to be at home. We were out all the time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, our parents were just like, yeah, whatever, man, just get back where the street lights are on.
That was our shit. Yeah, street lights.
We'll start to worry about you if you're not home for dinner.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, I talk about that all the time. My friends are oftentimes very, they're jealous or they don't comprehend, maybe also what it meant to be free like that.
Absolutely.
Because it's like you got to figure out stuff on your own a lot more. You didn't have the phone. You were just like with whoever you were with, and you couldn't be reached unless you happened to be near a phone where someone was trying to reach you. So, we will never have that experience again. I mean, we could, but we'd have to manufacture it.
Yeah, you'd have to post it on social media. Like one thing I love the comparisons. Me and Aaron have been friends 41 years. So we grew up together. I had a I was the dude that had the Monte Carlo. I had a 75 Monte Carlo. And
nice.
We always met at the caves. There were, lots of mines and caves in Vegas. So you didn't, there was no texting or anything. And you talk about that like towards the end of the book, like beepers. The beepers started to come out where everybody, I got a beep and, all those
911.
But like
oh my God.
Yeah. But that was the awesome times when you had places you'd meet up and like we went to a lot of desert gigs, because that's where you went. You went out in the desert. Nobody messed with you. And also school, your confrontation. I love like nowadays, whole different thing. You talk about your confrontation with the one teacher. And you thought you were going to be held for summer school or something. I had that confrontation with a PE teacher when I was in 10th grade. We got in a fight in front of all of the classes in the gymnasium because he didn't like me because I was a stoner.
Wow.
And and back then he's sleeping with one of the cheerleaders, and I knew it because I called him out in front of her. No consequences whatsoever. They took me out of PE, gave me an extra elective, and he went back to doing his thing.
It's
different,
completely different world. And Reggie, do you feel like maybe like because of the atmosphere and the vibe of when we came up, it bred a different kind of human being then? Do you think that human beings were evolving differently then?
I think, it was just, there's a lot of limitations to things that we were exposed to, like we only got our information about the world from a couple sources, which simplified things and things were consolidated. But, there was still a little bit of journalistic integrity, even on like the nightly news, it wasn't so propaganda-y or just in service of the capitalistic model, So there's a little bit of semblance of like, well, the information we were getting, you didn't have to like question as much. Now it's like you could have an anxiety attack trying to figure out, like, do you think that that's a propaganda? Do you think that was generated by bots? Do you think that that's true? And it's like, let me check 5 other sources to triangulate, like it's so fucking stupid. Anyways, but I think that there's a little bit less to worry about in many ways. And things were a lot simpler, like in general, information wise, like you just kind of dealt with what you were dealing with in the moment. And, obviously the stakes are always different if that's all you know. So, it could have felt complicated back then, but compared to now, it definitely, I would take that over this, I think, if that were possible.
How do you personally mitigate the anxiety of what you were just talking about now, man? Like just for your head and yourself.
I just try to craft my life in a way that allows me to be fluid and have adventures and stay creative. And, and I get involved in the community and the arts community and music community here and hang out with, all kinds of artists from different generations, and share thoughts and things like that, and that helps. And ketamine is really great as well.
I
The Ketaverse?
dying to talk to you about that too. We actually
Yeah.
we have a friend in common.
Well, yeah, Kieran Bo.
Oh yeah, Kieran Bobirian.
Yes. He's amazing. Him and my daughter, the way I know about Kieran, him and my daughter lives in LA, and she and him are like, they work together a lot. And I visited her one time in LA, and she's like, Mom, you come meet Kieran, come to his spot. And I went there and I met Paragon, and Paragon, I started crying.
Paragon sang you happy birthday.
He did. Yeah. But like I met Paragon and I lost my shit. Like there was something about that puppet that like it touched my heart somehow. And it's still, I love that thing, but he's dope, man. I love what he does. And like, he's just like one of the coolest guys. How'd you guys come to get together or meet or?
We met in Seattle, and I don't know. It was like, I think he said maybe it was 2001 or something like that.
Dang,
we
it's
met.
a while now.
Yeah, he was like a really young kid. And yeah, something like that. Yeah, and then we just kind of kept in contact, throughout the years. Just always kept in touch, and I'd see him from time to time, and he knew this guy Hefe from British Columbia, and they invited me up because they were like trying to create the Creatington studio up there, and just a lot of like little things here and there that they would invite me to, and they invited me to Burning Man in 2007. So just known him, and then he moved to LA and got Creatington started here, and so just kept in touch.
Right on, man.
Yeah, that's a trippy cat, and Creatington is something else, man.
But listening to you on Joe Rogan, that your most recent with Joe Rogan, first of all, that was an awesome conversation.
Yeah, amazing interview, man.
Like that that was amazing.
Thanks.
But I had listened to it, and then I reached out to my husband. I was like, have you heard Reggie Watts on Joe? And he's like, no. I was like, you need to do that right now. So he did. And then I was like, he was like, we need to get him on the show. We need to get on the show because I want to see if he'll talk about ketamine and what, like, if he's so open about it, I'd love to talk to him about it because it's pretty much transformed our lives, and it's still transforming so many people's lives. But,
we've been reticent to like come out of the closet, so to speak, on the show about how often
reticent
a little bit at first.
Okay.
One, and then we just did an interview a couple of weeks ago with the ketamine clinic in Florida that's really approaching it from a different angle.
But listening to you talk about it on that show, on Joe's show, really made me feel kind of free, man.
Yeah.
I thanks. I was like, fuck, it's okay. You know what I mean? I don't gotta fucking hide shit. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I trying to make?
Especially with something
okay?
that's so therapeutic and helpful.
And it's the opposite of hiding when you're on ketamine. Like it's the fucking opposite. So to censor yourself about it seems so stupid, Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's like with anything, you have to, have good experience with it, and set and setting, and then you can see the benefits of it, and obviously, again, with any substance like that, there can be abuse. I definitely know some K heads that are like just constantly having to do K, and I'm like, nothing's happened yet, and I'm like, I'm always hinting because I don't like to be like, dude, you gotta stop, because it's like everybody's autonomous, and as long as there seems to be consciousness behind it, then I'm gonna be a little bit more subtle about those things. But I think in general, the experience of ketamine and my experience with, introducing people to it, people coming over and, experiencing it for the first time and so forth, they generally have an amazing result, because it's it just backs you out of the complexity that you're generally thinking of, or you're in hyper awareness loops and, whatever, you're worried about a myriad number of things. And not that it like makes you stop worrying about it. It actually does the opposite. It just allows you to see what you're worrying about. And then in doing so, you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about it as hard, and also
I can turn the dial down a little bit.
So hard into that worry.
Yeah. And also there are solutions, and I should be working to find solutions, not be just in a cycle of worry.
If you're trying to eat better, we made it easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just, guess what, 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and even Keto. And there's more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals, man. They have 2-minute meals that fuel you up fast with Factor's restaurant-quality meals that are ready to heat and eat wherever you are. They are flexible with your schedule, so you get as much as you need really fast, and Factor really does it right. It's the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, premium options with no cooking required. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to head to factormeals.com/NoSimpleRoad50 and use the coupon code NoSimpleRoad50 to get 50% off. That's code NoSimpleRoad50 at factormeals.com/NoSimpleRoad50 and get 50% off. Look, not many places are giving you 50% off. Go try it. You're going to love it. You get it for half off. It's a whole thing. Go check out Factor. For sure. I think, and the three of us all have said this independent of each other, is that it's helped me organize the shit in my head. I feel like it's an organizer because I'm taken out of the day-to-day whatever meat suit that I'm in for a while and zoomed out a bit on things. And I feel like maybe at that point your brain has a chance to relax into itself, or your thoughts have a chance to kind of fall into the spaces that they're supposed to be, instead of you jumbling everything up all the time. It kind of relaxes things and puts shit back in the drawers that it was supposed to be in, instead of me throwing
cabinet.
Socks all over the room.
I think it's the best personal assistant that you can get. It's like introducing a person, your clone, into your head. That's like, okay, we're gonna disassociate, get all this shit straight, and you're gonna come out of this a better person every time.
Yeah. It's I get a lot from it every time. Yeah.
You talked about an experience that you had in a room that was like the rainforest, and sitting on the floor, and with your friend. And I wanted to share something with you that happened and see what your thoughts are on it. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
you're an MD now.
Yeah, Dr. Watts is here, and we're gonna get his expert opinion. So on New Year's Eve this year, we were doing ketamine, and we were watching allegedly, and we were watching a live stream from Madison Square Garden in New York City of Phish, and we had a group of friends that were there at the show on the floor in Madison Square Garden. And there was one, like,
who we've done a lot of ketamine research with.
Yes. and there was one moment in the show where it was like a peak moment. There was a lot going on. And I was in our living room here, and the timbre of the music changed. Like, it opened up more. My eyes were closed. Everything got white. And I could smell Madison Square Garden. I was literally standing on the floor with my friends at Madison Square Garden. I could feel the vibration of the bass in the room differently. And I was like, in the moment, like, oh my God, this is fucking happening. Like, you're in it right now, Aaron. Accept that this is happening and let it be real. Just go. And so, okay, finish the night, go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, my phone rings, and it's my buddy that was at the show, And he goes,
well, and you had shared with me, and then I had the same thing and didn't say anything. The room disappeared. We were there. One of our friends, Andrew, who was there, actually hugged him and smelt him. And then we went to bed, and
so in the morning, my phone rings. Andrew calls me, and he was like, "Holy shit, you guys were in MSG with me last night."
What?
Yeah,
that's insane.
What? So what the fuck, man? Dr. Watts.
Well, I mean, ketamine's I don't know. It's like it's a weird one because to me, it's not really a state you get into. It's a space that you enter into, and it's kind of like the liminal space, like the thing that connects all things, interconnectedly, infinitely, for lack of a better way. But and I think, things can occur, or things can happen in shared mind space that are tangible enough for people to have similar experiences without knowing, or knowing, being conscious together in another reality, and you can both explain and describe what you saw, without saying anything to each other. So that does happen, and there's like telepathic things that happen, and it's really kind of crazy because it's the only time that you can feel like you really are, something is really happening. That's very fantastic. Like it feels like I've been on no other drug that allows you to feel like you actually are experiencing what you're experiencing, because to a certain degree, like LSD, and I've definitely had some hardcore LSD trips and mushroom trips and other things. And you still know you're on a drug.
Right.
I think some people can definitely have like very like, this is really happening, but I think there's still a part of your mind that's like, I know that I'm on acid right now, and that I'm hallucinating, and that it could be something real, but it's still more of a hallucination, realization. Whereas ketamine, things will happen. You'll feel like, no, that felt like a hard reality.
Yes.
Like that felt like an actual experience, that actually happened. And you start to travel, it's like you travel, you go to other places. If you go into a K-hole, I mean, like every single time it's different, but it's like this kaleidoscopic fractal, journey. It's just unlike any other psychedelic, I mean, it is dissociative, but they call it inwardly psychedelic. But I think, it's more psychedelic than psychedelics in many ways.
yes,
it's a meta psychedelic. Yeah.
Have you come out from any trips with like some, like something specific that you had to like, get down or sing or perform, or because I'm sure you've been inspired by trips, but like something specific that was like,
She's talking downloads, right?
Yeah. Or like, whatever.
Well, I mean, not that I can remember specifically. I've definitely, we talked about phrases or things like that. We always pull phrases from different highs, or concepts and things like that, and write them down as soon as it's done. Or sometimes I'll record sessions, especially when we're coming down from K and if I'm with a friend and we start talking about what we had experienced, and so I'll record that. And, but not necessarily like, oh shit, I've got a great idea. Aside from like maybe an acid trip when I was 21 and I decided to go vegetarian because of it, and get into it.
Are you still vegetarian?
No,
no, it didn't stick. I feel like, especially lately, man, like the times that I've done it, and mind you, we all work day jobs. Me and Mel are grandparents and parents. We're not fucking railing lines of K all day,
Yeah.
The times that I've done it recently, I mean, let's be honest, man. The world that we're in right now is a heavy place. There's a lot of heavy energy. It's crazy. Everything's upside down, topsy turvy. 2024 has already kicked us in the nuts like 3 times. But the times that I've done that and like really allowed myself to open up and be in that space, I've felt this like underpinning hope, like this feeling of hopefulness in there, of like, there's work going on in here that you can't see, that you can't even fathom right now. and that's doing something not only for you but for the people around you and rippling out into the world. Do you get that?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, in one way you can, you can view it as, it's like the future is kind of an infinite horizon, and, and if you subscribe to, the many worlds theory, and saying that all possibilities exist simultaneously always, and that we're just kind of riding a bunch of choice points, that lead to different outcomes, things like that. Well, then if that's true, then all of those realities do exist. So when you're feeling that in that moment, you're feeling hopeful. It's like you're just resonating with that reality. So I think, and that can be shared, by people close to you, or maybe it's just added to, an overall feeling by a bunch of us or what have you. But I think it definitely contributes to the idea that things can get better, and that there are solutions out there, and that there's a possibility that we may move beyond our, the very, very few people that are hoarding all the resources and controlling. No, I don't want to say controlling sounds conspiratorial. It's not really that. It's just people are hoarding and they're addicted to greed. And when you're addicted like heroin to greed, you'll do anything you can to stay in that position. So there's nothing conspiratorial about it. It's just pretty basic. It's like, I've got all the shit. I don't want to get rid of the shit. And if you come after the shit, I'm going to make it really, I'm going to release a lot of pain for you if you try to do that, Yeah. And so, and that's like a hopeless feeling sometimes when you're in the news and you're just seeing more and more and more and more of that, and people not being compassionate, not being kind, and like, being indignant and being proud of being ignorant and all of these things. It's like, it can be very overwhelming and depressing. However, it's produced by mediums that want to that pick sensational things because that's what gets the clicks, and that's where the advertising money comes from. So it's hard to live in a world where you get a really good, clean sense of what the broad general vibe is of the world. We just get like the gross stuff and some good stuff, but like a lot of like assholes, more assholes doing more asshole shit, people trying to battle assholes, and it's just like the battle of the assholes. And so,
what a visual.
It's just fucking stupid. And so, and after a while, I'm just like, you know what? You guys are a bunch of fucking knuckleheads. I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. And that's why my thing is like, you just got to bypass. It's like, it is just bypass it, and I think that's possible. I think the future is going to be very, I think that's going to happen because people are going to get tired of it. They're like, this is not even necessary, especially with like AI and having, intelligent, and when you have like something like an artificial intelligence that's accessible by most people, that's their own personal artificial intelligence, which is a super brain version of themselves that can help them solve their own problems in their own communities and discover new ways of like making vertical farming even cheaper, or like, oh, here's a new way to harness your solar array. So that's blah, 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 blah. So people really start to become a little bit more self-sufficient in communities. I think that's unstoppable. I don't think that there's anything a government can do because it's just going to be too overwhelming to try to get everybody to stop, doing something.
Well, At the core of it too. I mean, if you're plugged into that lens of life and you're seeing assholes being assholes and fighting assholes and taking shit from other assholes and all that, there's the other side of that. Like we just had a week-long ice storm here. We had no power for a week. A fucking tree fell on our house. Our basement flooded. We almost lost all our equipment here in the studio. Like all this shit happened.
Oh, wow.
But we met all of our neighbors. Everybody's fucking dope. We're all helping each other. Like it's like the,
we got new friends. We lived here for 7 going on 8 years. And we didn't know some of these people and now they're friends.
Yeah. And so you walk outside, it's like, you're looking at the screen and it's plane crashes and screaming and people on fire and stealing and whatever. And then you open up your sliding glass door and it's like, oh, the fucking trees are blowing. And
birds
there's
are
a bunch of birds in the yard.
and,
hey, Bill, how's it going? Like we really are choosing our reality minute to minute. Like you said, it's What do you want to plug yourself into and be a part of?
I love that you said how you craft your life, because that is honestly the best answer I've ever heard. Like, if you're doing Reggie and you're not hurting anybody and you're constantly inspired and work, like you said, putting yourself in like positions where you're with artists, young and old, like you're always going to be able to come up with something incredible to keep yourself and your circle
afloat.
Yeah, afloat, clean, fun, good, like whatever.
Yeah, it's true, and it doesn't mean that you have to ignore, the problems that are going on in the world. It means that you're working on your immediate self and reality and surroundings around you, which is still helping the greater cause.
It's all one thing anyway. It's all one big something. All, it's like what Ram Dass said: "Tend the part of the garden you can reach." Kind of makes sense. And by doing that, you're making the whole garden dope.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you're into like sci-fi and stuff like that. And just for a second, could you just either make up, or maybe you even have this, what is going to happen in the next 10 years?
Oh, the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a hard one. I mean, I don't know. I think, I'm definitely keeping an eye on the AI space, and just kind of staying in step with that and seeing where that's going. I think that there'll be some pretty amazing surprises. I don't know about what's going on in the Middle East and the arms race and, all that stuff. That's kind of interesting. Who knows? I hope that, we can make it through this election and, not have Trump. Not have Trump. That would be really cool. To not have Trump would be awesome. But I'm also prepared for that to not happen, and to figure out like how to continue doing art. I think, the next 10 years will definitely be a defining decade for humanity. It depends on what we prioritize, what we think is truly important. And I think when we have the means to start to look at a post-capitalistic world, with universal basic income and these types of things, it can work. And I'm not saying that'll happen in 10 years, because it's a lot to change in 10 years. But like, I think that we're going to start to see modular versions of that starting to pop up, countries and communities, and things are going to start going in that direction. And, again, with the artificial intelligence being accessible by the everyday person, we're going to start to see a lot of solutions, and there could be like some mischievous, like dumb, whatever, bad actor based stuff using AI, but I like to stay on the hopeful side of things. And, so I'm happy with that. Also, spatial computing or whatever, the Apple headset.
Dude, I was
like
going to say something about that. That's
yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I ordered it already.
Did
you? I can't wait to experience it, because I've been a VR fan for such a long time, but it's just kind of a repeat of what, like what ketamine is essentially a form of VR.
Right.
And VR is just like a hardware version of a trip, and
I've never thought of that like that.
Yeah.
I have never considered that, because I've never, I don't know. I don't know if I'm scared of technology or just one of those old school people that just likes, I like a peanut butter sandwich or something. You know what I mean? I don't need to get all fancy with like one thing on my plate and a leaf. And although that's cool too, I'm not saying don't do it.
Sure.
I just have that kind of like thing about myself. And it just feels, when he showed me that, he showed Apple and I at the same time. And I was like, that looks like a trailer for the scariest fucking sci-fi movie I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't want to even touch that. But at the same time, I'm curious and I want to kind of understand and do it. But like, it's a trip. Like all of the technology and, like you said, AI and the, psychedelic, Renaissance and all those things. And, people, commuting together and living together, and just also like people like Joe Rogan saying what the fuck's on his mind to millions of people. Like there's a shift, a major one because of all of it, and I'm here for
100%.
it. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And also
Yeah,
your
it's gonna get
spatial
better.
thing was dope. Also, your spatial
Special.
Oh, the special.
Yes.
Spatial special.
Spatial special.
Mhm.
Dang,
Mhm.
that was so fun. Like for real was so fun.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it was fun. I'm shooting another one in March.
Oh yeah?
Oh, hell yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
We watched, like Mel said, we watched that Vision Pro trailer thing or whatever that they put out. And
Yeah.
I had the feeling, I was like, oh shit, I'm seeing a sea change. I'm seeing
Mhm.
this is it. This is gonna be the next this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I held
Yeah.
up my phone, everybody that can't see us.
Oh,
It's gonna be the next iPhone or whatever, that it's gonna be ubiquitous in 5 years, I think. Maybe 5 years.
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see. It's technology is a weird one because obviously I have a lot of friends that are not, kind of not anti-tech, but just kind of not as interested in it. And there's always people that say like technology is not going to save us. No. And I agree with that. However, when you zoom out, technology is just a human construct.
Mhm.
And it's like we use a fork as technology, language as technology.
That's
so
true.
sometimes it does take technology, something like AI, for instance, to kind of shift the way we relate to technology itself. And I think that can kind of remove technology. I think technology in the future is going to become less visible, and more like what Arthur C. Clarke said, where
Magic.
it'll be indistinguishable from magic.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen. We just kind of like built this like clunky version of what eventually will get kind of refined.
And then we'll all be in DMT space forever and ever.
Yeah.
And ever, and ever,
Over
and
and over and over and over.
That's dope.
Reggie, I know you got another thing, man, but I
No.
appreciate you doing this with us, brother. I really, really do. And I hope we get to meet in person someday and hang out.
Yeah, I'll be around. Where are you guys at again?
We're up
We're
in
in-
Portland,
yeah.
Oregon.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably be up there. I'll definitely say hey.
Come
Hell
on.
That'd be
yeah.
All right, brother.
Right on.
Enjoy the rest of your day and be safe. Take care of yourself, bro.
Thanks,
Man,
Reggie.
Thanks so much, guys.
Talk to you soon, man.
Yes,
Yes. Live long and
yes. Right on, man.
Well, everybody, that just happened.
What is that called when you do that? I know.
Live long
Live
and
long
prosper.
and prosper.
Okay.
Star
It's the
Trek.
It's from Star Wars.
That-
Gandalf did it.
Oh yeah.
I was
know
telling Eric
that's
he
not
did that
right.
at the end of his book, and I loved it. He's like, May 4th, that's the day you celebrate Star Trek. And just left it at that for people, nerds' heads to blow up.
Well, everybody, I can honestly say that I think that Reggie Watts is a dope son of a bitch.
He's
Yes.
not the son of a bitch. His mom was an amazing person. He's one of the best people in his entire
he's
life.
He's a dope human being.
There you go.
Yes.
His mom was rad.
Yeah.
And that went by
Too fast.
faster than like anybody we've talked to.
Way too fast.
I can't believe that went. That was dope. Talking to him.
Yeah. I'm a
He
little
has-
blown away.
He has some really interesting things to say about technology. I like.
Did he make you feel more? Reggie Watts made Melanie feel more comfortable about tech?
And I don't feel uncomfortable about tech. It's one of those things, like if you can't really grasp your head around it, then it's like when so much water is pouring at you, you can't catch it all. You know what I mean? Like,
but if you think about it in the frame of like, you don't feel like that about the table, right?
no.
Table's not like that, or like,
But the table's
That-
not going to disconnect you from reality.
Exactly.
Unless
it could
unless it hits you in the
if I
head.
throw it at you or
Well,
drop it on your
yeah.
head.
How
Yeah.
the table's being used clearly, but these the tools that have evolved beyond stationary, and they don't interact with you on a mental level. They're not saying things to you. It's easier to accept those types of technologies. The fork isn't saying pick me up and now
Yet.
stab me in.
And
with
it's
the,
it's not sending out
No.
microwaves or any
No.
kind of
yes, if we sit there and dissect it, if you're on freaking ketamine or any other drug for that matter, you can get some really deep and in-depth
What about like
ideas.
an airplane? An airplane's doing all that stuff.
No, an airplane's insane and incredible and amazing, and still can't understand how it stays in the air with all those people, all that weight, and
called lift and
it
drag.
feels like it's not moving, but also is moving. Like it's just a trip. Like to wrap your head around big concepts.
I had a
not
like,
easy.
a fantasy like thought thing when I was younger on the airplane, and I thought like, what if when you get on the airplane, you're not really flying? You get on there and they gas everybody and put everybody to sleep and then drive you to your destination or take you on a boat and then put you back on the airplane at the end and wake everybody up. What if? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
Yeah, that was my 18-year-old brain on the airplane smoking too much weed. Well, everybody, I appreciate y'all listening and hanging out with us this afternoon. That was a big deal for No Simple Road to have
really
Reggie
was.
on. Thank you, Dr. Watts,
Thank
for
you for
spending time with us.
Yeah, and he said he was down with it. He just has to find the time because he's a busy guy doing all kinds of fun stuff. Crafting his life with his artist friends and being rad.
I just love it too. That was 3 months ago or so when you started posting.
Yeah,
like saying I'm just gonna keep. And I love what he said too. He's like, that's not pestering, but you just kept posting stuff, and it happened.
You
man.
know who's next?
It happened. Congratulations on doing that. And
thanks, man.
And you manifested this.
Yeah, you did.
I made a Reggie Watts.
So now who's to tell what we're gonna manifest next?
Bert Kreischer's next. Come on, Bert. We want to hang out.
Would be fun.
Bert just got into Goose and the Dead and Phish, and he's all lit up, excited, learning the songs and calling set lists and shit. And
really?
Oh yeah,
that's dope.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Bert. All right.
His wife was just on Frasco.
I know. I saw. All right. So what have we learned today, everybody? Help me out, guys.
We've learned that Reggie's awesome.
Uh-huh. Buy his book.
Yep.
We know why he didn't talk about the Grateful Dead and Phish.
Yeah.
And like what Aaron just said, if you are a fan of Reggie Watts at all, his book is amazing and explains a lot. And if you're my age, Aaron's age, if you're
any age.
Yeah, my age too.
If you're of an age.
If you're of an age, but especially if you're from that era, like grew up in the 80s, man, it just brings back so many memories that I hadn't thought of in a long time.
So the book is called Great Falls, Montana, Fast Times, Post-Punk Weirdos, and a Tale of Coming Home Again by Reggie Watts. This gripping memoir is equal parts relatable small town upbringing and unfathomable noise wizard jazz clown origin story. 11 stars by Nick Offerman. That's who wrote that.
Oh, hell yeah.
11.
Nick Offerman.
Well, so we learned that. We learned that ketamine is dope, and be careful with it and do it in moderation as you should everything else on the planet, and it can help you organize your thoughts. Mel, what else?
We learned that if you ask nicely, he'll put his sweater on.
There it is.
That was awesome.
Funny. All right. We will be back on Monday with another edition of the No Simple Road Weekly Rewind. For all of you that are new to the No Simple Roadiverse, welcome to the No Simple Road family. We love all you, and we're glad you're here with us, and stay on the road with us. Keep hanging out. And until then, take care of each other, smile at a stranger, safety third, hydrate, and remember to get regular tire and car maintenance. You never know when that accident can... No, I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys.
That's a good one. Definitely important.
We'll see y'all. Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Well, hey friends, my name is Zach Lupitin. You may know me from the band Dust Bowl Revival, but I also host a music discovery podcast called The Show on the Road. For the last 5 seasons, I've been able to dive deep and have intimate chats with folks like the Lumineers, Ani DeFranco, Wolfpack, Keb Mo, Lake Street Dive, Bela Fleck, and more. So guess what? After 150 conversations with some of my favorite songwriters from around the world, we are bringing brand new episodes to the Osiris Network. New interviews and intimate acoustic performances will be coming at you this summer. And which episodes are coming next, you ask?
I am Zach Goody, the lead singer for the band Smash Mouth.
Our band is called Milky Chance. We are based in Berlin.
My name is David Shaw. I sing and write songs with my band, The Revivalists.
Trust me, these conversations go some wild places. So subscribe to The Show on the Road on Osiris, and we'll see you soon.